Well, another intense day at the state capitol. We have a look at the State House in downtown Des Moines, where a bill that would end protections for transgender Iowans passed in both the Senate and the House today. If the bill becomes law, it would remove gender identity protections from the Iowa Civil Rights Code.
Yeah, it's a piece of legislation causing a lot of division and a lot of emotion. Laura, KCCI has live team coverage at the State House tonight. We start with our chief political reporter, Amanda Rooker. And Amanda, things really reached their boiling point this afternoon as the bill passed through the Senate.
Absolutely, Jody. There was a very tense moment after what's been a very tense week here at the Iowa State House. Right behind me in this Senate gallery, there was a man sitting there that started shouting and swearing at lawmakers after they voted to approve this bill that would remove gender identity from Iowa Civil Rights Act. That man was physically lifted out of his seat by state troopers and removed, along with some other people that were sitting in that Senate gallery who were also yelling and shouting. A lot of emotion on this bill. That outburst came after hours of fiery debate on the Senate floor. Lawmakers approved Senate File 418. It would make Iowa the first state in the country to remove gender identity from its civil rights code. The bill has sparked a week of protests and passionate pleas. Iowans in support of the bill say it will protect spaces designated for women, allowing the enforcement of other state laws, like requiring transgender Iowans only use school bathrooms that match their sex at birth. But during a public hearing this morning, some transgender Iowans begged lawmakers not to pass the bill, saying it will allow landlords to deny them housing and employers to deny them jobs.
I want to be able to be the person I was meant to be, and as the person that God knows me to be. Please don't take my rights away simply because you disagree with who I am.
When our Civil Rights Code changed in 2007 to include and acknowledge gender, transgender people were not protected, they were promoted. Their rights were elevated above everyone else's.
Now, this bill was only introduced just 1 week ago. It has moved very quickly through the legislative process. Republicans also limited how much time lawmakers had today to debate this bill before they voted on it. KCCI's Ophelia Jacobson was on the Iowa House floor when lawmakers there approved this bill. Ophelia, that vote means that this bill is now just one signature away from becoming law.
Yeah, Amanda, that's right. And because the House actually substituted their version of the bill with the Senate's version of the bill, which is identical, they were able to vote on that. The final vote was 60-35, which means it heads to the governor's desk now. Now, that vote came after more than 2 hours of fiery debate on the House floor in front of a packed House chamber. This is video of the debate earlier this afternoon. We heard primarily from Democrats who shared testimonies and stories sent to them by their constituents. I saw multiple lawmakers crying during debate as colleagues passionately urged legislators to vote no. And people watching in interrupted the debate several times by shouting, laughing, and even booing at several points. Democrats called up Representative Stephen Holt, who's the floor manager for this bill, for questions multiple times. And that was really the only time we heard from Republicans on the House side today, aside from closing comments. Democratic lawmakers say passing this bill will make Iowa an unwelcoming place and that it will incentivize people to leave the state, while Holt argues this bill protects women's rights.
There is no way to extend the ability of transgender individuals to play in the sport of their choice and use the facilities of their choice without profoundly infringing on the rights, safety, and long protected opportunities of others. This is the slippery slope of a protected status.
This is, for me, the accept bill. Everyone in Iowa has a right to a home except for trans Iowans. Everyone has a right.
And we also heard from the first transgender state lawmaker here in Iowa who gave a powerful testimony at the very end of debate that was met with a standing ovation. We'll have more comments from Representative Amy Wichendahl coming up at 6. Live at the State House, Ophelia Jacobson, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader.
Ophelia, thank you for that report. As we continue to track the bills moving through the State House, be sure to download our free KCCI mobile app. You can turn on notifications to stay up to date on the legislative session.